Bill, thank you so much for joining us today. And so we're definitely excited to just learn a little bit of background about you, but we're also really excited to hear more about this exciting event that's coming up in January for high school tennis coaches. So, if you don't mind, let's just maybe dive in. If you could share your background a little bit and how you got involved in the world of tennis.
Yeah, wow, I'm an old guy that's been around for a long time in the tennis world. I feel like I've lived a thousand lives, but spent most of my time as a club pro, teaching pro, both certified with the USPTA and the PTR, and I actually spent a little time in North Carolina at a couple of clubs over there back in the 90s. But my background in tennis has been from a lot with the coaching side of things. In the last 36 years, I've spent some of the time as well coaching college tennis. I think I might be around 10 or 12 years now, maybe more than that. Time flies when you're having fun, but all I've really done for the last 35 years is coach and teach tennis, and very lucky in that when I'm not on the court, either in Tennessee or at the school, then I get to be on a court somewhere in the world, coaching and teaching and working with players, and then also working with coaches from a coach education standpoint. So yeah, just really lucky guy that loves tennis and been in the coaching world for a long, long time.
Well, it sounds like you're living the dream.
Well, well, it's not a bad gig. I tell people all the time I have the best job in the world. I mean, I really do get to kind of follow my passion, and it's been great for me. It's been great for my family. My kids played tennis growing up. Every once in a while, my wife gets out and plays some tennis with me. It's not bad. I really really enjoy it.
Yeah, we actually played a little tennis ourselves in COVID. I was a college tennis course instructor in graduate school, and then I taught Megan to play a little tennis. So we
Okay.
enjoy it. We love, yeah, we love sports, and so something that's really interesting is this is the first National High School Tennis Coaches Conference coming up, January 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah.
What tell us a little bit about why, number one, you think it might be the first, and number two, what's kind of the exciting draw to have this happen?
Well, I mean, in the college world, you've got NCAA and NAI, and you've got these governing bodies that kind of legislate and govern and organize sports across the country. In the high school ranks, you really don't have that. In some of the smaller Olympic sports, as you will know, it's a little bit of the Wild West. And there are some states out there, Michigan, for instance, Texas, Southern Cal. There's a few little pockets around there where states have organizations or federations that help educate the coaches, oversee the high school teams, those type things. But no one has ever put together a national high school tennis coaches conference like this that's really geared strictly to high school coaches. In the high school world, sometimes you have the person that maybe doesn't even play tennis, but they're getting an extra stipend. They're an English teacher, and they just happen to maybe play a little tennis or whatever. So now they're in this world of coaching tennis, all the way up to maybe some of the private schools where they've got full time former players and coaches that really work with the teams. And so there was a need. And talking with David, we were kicking around some different ideas, and I just feel so strongly that this is going to be a good thing for tennis in general, but a great thing for the high school coach out there that maybe is in the middle of Nebraska and can't get to, the quality of speakers and topics that we put together, because it's just not offered, locally. Or maybe their state doesn't offer things like that. So we were really excited about, kicking this off and doing it. And to my knowledge, no one's ever done this before. And I know that no one's ever done anything at this level of speakers and topics. So we're super excited about it.
Well, yeah, that is definitely a lot to be excited about. And so this sounds like a very exciting offer through Sport Feels Life, 3-day event. How can someone find it or sign up or register? Do you know the details on that?
Yeah, I'm sending everybody I know straight to Sport Fuels Life, the website, because there's a link right there. I think the other thing, about 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with Herb and Dave. I was in Charlotte for a couple of days, actually talking at another coaches conference. And they've been around tennis a long time, and they've been huge supporters. And what Sport Fuels Life is doing now to kind of be this hub for athletes and coaches, just in general, is just such a great thing. And this is a perfect fit for the platform that they've got.
Well, thanks for spreading the word. I mean, so you all listening out there, you heard it yourself. Go ahead and register at sportfuelslife.com. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And let's hear a little bit more about the topics you guys might be educating different tennis coaches on, and maybe some of the exciting speakers that we have joining us for this awesome event.
Yeah, that's a really cool part of this. But before I do that, I will say too, all of the recordings, all of the seminars are going to be on the Sport Fuels Life platform for a year. So if a coach signs in and can only make it on Tuesday, well, then they can watch, whatever happens on Wednesday and Thursday at their leisure, from their couch, in their living room if they want to. But I tell you, we've got a pretty impressive lineup of speakers. Starting kind of at the very top of things with Chris Young and Tom Reese. Both are college tennis coaches. Chris is at Oklahoma State. Tom is over at Clemson. So you've got, the very elite level college tennis coaches that are out there. They're going to be talking about kind of the pathways and all the little pieces that go into being an athlete at that level, at the Division I level. We've also got coaches like MJ Garnett, who's at a small Christian Division II school over in Memphis. A little bit different kind of feel, going from say a Clemson to a Christian Brothers University. So he's going to share a little bit about the college life there as well, but also really for him, he's going to kind of dive into practical strategies for practices and for play. So coaches can look at, what he's going to be able to offer, both as a college coach for a long time, as well as a club coach for many, many years. He's going to be able to help them with, things that are court related and organizing your team. We got some heavy hitters again, and a guy named Tim Wilson, who's from North Carolina, played professionally for many, many years on the ATP tour. He's going to talk about becoming a high performance coach and all the pieces that kind of go into that, not just on the court, but just a high performance coach in life. He's currently coaching over in China with a group of players as well. So we've gone international with this. We've got practical things for coaches as well, talking about fundraising. Delane Mast out of Pennsylvania, probably one of the premier people in the United States on how to raise funds for your team, your program, your school. She's done it. She's going to show you those resources that you may not even realize you have right there in your backyard. Richard Woodruff is going to be on with us. He is a physical trainer for a lot of professional athletes, most notably Shelby Rogers, who competed for many, many years on the WTA Tour. He's going to kind of boil things down for coaches on fitness fundamentals, things that high school coaches can be looking at and how they can kind of help their athletes physically. As a high school coach, you don't really have the luxury of having a strength and conditioning coach and someone to help with singles and doubles and all these different things. You're kind of a one-man band out there. And, part of the goal was to arm these coaches with as much information as we can, kind of across the board. And then there's a couple others that I'll mention. Joe Fleenor is going to be talking about team building for success. Joe used to work for the USTA. He now runs a very successful sports management company out of Nashville. And I think he's got a lot of knowledge he's going to be able to bring to the table. And we've also got Michelle Krause from USTA. She heads up the cardio tennis department, and she's kind of the cardio tennis queen. And she's going to talk to the coaches about how to take cardio tennis and implement it into your practice, because it's the perfect practice for these high school coaches. And then Yeah, I think we've got one more, Devin Crotcher, who's from the USTA, managing college tennis. So he's going to talk a little bit about all these different options that coaches need to know about to help their athletes make it to the next level. Whether the next level is, at Notre Dame or Stanford, or it could be a small junior college in Mississippi. He's going to help them through that, and then I'll be there to kind of just like help wrangle it all in and hopefully make it fun and be there with everybody throughout the 3 days. So it's a lot of stuff, but we feel like it's a really good offering.
Yeah, and this is a wonderful time for it. I mean, just as the year's getting kicked off, people are kind of fresh off the new year as well. And there's so many different nuances to team sports, especially at the high school level. When the average human thinks about tennis, you think about the pros, you think about the tours, you think about Wimbledon, the Australian
Right.
Open, US Open. But high school tennis and college tennis, there's a team aspect where you got to win your singles, your doubles matches, and you got to manage
Yeah.
players, both chemistry, camaraderie, their physical attributes, doubles, all those things make a difference. And this is going to be a phenomenal resource for any aspiring high school coach. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, that lineup is quite impressive. And I mean, if I were a tennis coach, I would take advantage of that because there's nothing to lose. And you're bringing people from all across the country and even across the world just to hear their knowledge and speak on different topics related to the sport.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think whether you're a high school coach at any level, uh, some of the stuff applies to middle school coaches, other college coaches, club pros, younger coaches who aspire to get into the coaching world. We really want to kind of make it for everybody, even though it says high school coaches on there. And for the price and for the timing, it just can't be any better. So we're super excited about this.
Yeah, so we can check out Sport Fuels Life National High School Coaches Conference, January 7th, 8th, and 9th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a 3-day conference. It's only $29. So this is wonderful. Check out sportfuelslife.com, the website for all the information and signups needed. And we're very excited, Bill. Anything else you wanna kind of tease the listeners with?
Well, I mean, our goal with this is that everybody's going to walk away with like one little nugget. And whenever you go and you listen to someone speak, I don't care what you're listening to them talk about. The goal is always to try to take away one little nugget. And so each one of the presenters and I have talked about this, and the goal is, let's make sure they can walk away with one little nugget, no matter where they're coming from. So we've got little nuggets spread out all over those 3 days. And everybody's going to be able to walk away with something very positive that's going to be impactful to not only their team, but their players and their programs and maybe even their communities. So we're ready to get going. I know it's only about 2 weeks away, but still plenty of time for people to sign up.
Absolutely. Well, Bill, thank you so much for all your efforts too in organizing this event. And I know it's going to be great for the sport. I can't wait to see how it turns out. It sounds like it's going
Yeah.
to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys having me on, and look for everybody on January 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Exactly. All right. Well, that sounds great. And we'll see you guys then. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. If you liked this episode, then please go ahead, subscribe, like, or comment. This helps us grow more than you know, so we can keep making more content like this.
Or you can visit us on sportfuelslife.com and register to become a member for free. So you never miss another podcast episode. Thanks for listening.
Do it, you won't regret it.